Didn't see that one coming, Demon Slayer. Time dilation in manga, when done well, can be an extremely cool plot device. Think Kakashi being stabbed for years in Itachi's Tsukuyomi. Or zael Aporo in Bleach with his fight against Mayuri, poisoned with a drug that makes every second feel like a century has passed, while you're being stabbed, in turn begging for death. So for Demon Slayer, I was so sure that Muzan was nigh immortal and immune to the effects of time. Cue me this morning after reading chapter 193, scrambling through the wiki trying to find a reference, but there's nothing. We know Kokushibo, Yoriichis' brother, the Upper Moon One, took Muzan's offer to transcend humanity to demonhood in order to shed human weaknesses, such as the passage of time and its constraints on the body. But it's never said outright, and more fool me for assuming that demons don't age significantly. Muzan's body is currently the equivalent of if he had aged 9,000 years. To be fair, that's kinda an arbitrary number, as we don't know how long demons naturally live for and when their fighting prime ends. But visual cues like Muzan's hair being greyed and him espousing that he is feeling slower is pretty concrete stuff. Okay, getting ahead of ourselves, let's take more of a chronological approach to breaking down the chapter. This week's issue opens up with Tanjiro continuing his barrage of Breath of the Sun and Dance of the Fire God attacks, layering them and working his way through the 12-form moveset. Not to say that it's that easy, as he seems to be towing the line between life and death. I've always been a fan of Gotoge having the characters describe how exhausted they are, because even though a picture says 1,000 words, and we can see Tanjiro torn to shreds, having him talk about the pains in his hands and his lungs are just far more explicit, and for me at least gives some gravity and realism. Do I sound like a sadist for wanting to watch Tanjiro suffer? So this chapter isn't all action, it feels like a 50-50 split between battle panels and exposition dump. The ongoing fight is still surely to be absolutely nuts when adapted to anime, but in 193 we've had a ton of facts and figures to clarify previous questions and keep the story momenting? Firstly, clarifying that Tanjiro's sword is red, notably without the help of Nezuko's power. Also, with respect to time frame, there's an hour left till dawn to stall this out. We haven't had a time update in a couple of chapters. I think it was 1 hour and 14 minutes till dawn in chapter 190. And unless Gotoge starts drawing in sundials, verbal confirmation is the only way to count down the minutes. Something I really enjoyed in this chapter was a fleeting thought in a single panel from Muzan. Tanjiro will never be as quick or deadly as this man, panning over to an ominous vision of Yoriichi, the original Breath of the Sun user. I really like that Tanjiro isn't becoming an all-powerful OP protag, and there are heights he will hopefully never reach. I'm a huge fan of the Sun Bros mythos being unequivocally the strongest in universe, only really losing to the confides of his own mortality and championing the short but sweet nature of human life. Finally, some clarity on Tamiyo's drug. We get a 2-for-1 special on waifus this chapter with both Tamiyo and even Shinobu seen in a flashback panel. As Tamiyo is summoned back from Muzan's cells after earlier being absorbed, Muzan fails in a futile effort to get her to spill the beans on the drug he was poisoned with, and her face is priceless as she effectively says, "Get fucked." And it's here we learn after Muzan forcefully reads Tamiyo's cells that he has aged a ton and is effectively 9,000 years old, dulling his movements. This is it. This is what will keep Tanjiro in the fight. And of course my final thought for the chapter is, yo, where's Nezuko at? As if she's not going to be here to watch Tanjiro combine all 12 forms into one movement and put Muzan in the dirt. Predictions for next week's chapter will be a dire turn for Tanjiro. We've had 2 chapters in a row with Tanjiro using up all of his luck. I think it's about time he got knocked down a peg or two with some fresh adversity to keep the tension in the fight. I'm going to keep it vague and read the predictions in the comments. I always want to say Tanjiro loses his remaining eye and finishes the fight Himejima style in the see-through world, but I don't think I'd be satisfied with that. Let me know what you guys think. This was Anime Fried Chicken. Thanks for watching my chapter review. I review Demon Slayer and Black Clover weekly and make anime discussion videos. I'm flying to Tokyo tomorrow for vacation. I'm hoping to get some videos out as usual, but we'll play it by ear. Gonna eat some ramen, see Made in Abyss in a Japanese movie theatre, and read next week's Jump in physical print. It's gonna be sick. Subscribe for more Anime Fried Chicken goodness, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.